that seem to go all the way back and connect everything to hermeticism.
What the fuck is that?
Ancient energy power generator, part of a system of global power plants that produce energy.
Two of them! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god!
But here's the crazy part. Neither of them are a real person.
What if time travel exists and they're testing vaccines in the past?
Hello guys, 我是大鸡，欢迎来到我的频道。那在这里呢，我们会一起看一些那些在国外的有意思的，让你脑洞全开的一些 TikTok 影片哦。所以说，如果你喜欢新奇知识、泛科学，甚至是一些悬疑、奇幻的影片的话，那你一定会喜欢这个系列哦。那在开始之前呢，请帮助我订阅、按赞，非常感谢。那我们话不多说，赶快开始吧 ，Let's go! Alrighty.
Has the multiverse theory now been debunked? Physicists at Hiroshima University have performed what they describe as a more complex technique of the double slit experiment, and that they directly measured a photon being in two places at the same time. No. The double slit experiment is this famous illustration where if you push particles like sand through, you'll get this pattern. But if you push something like water or sound, you'll get this pattern. Photons, which are particles of light, can behave like both. Elementary particles, like photons, are kind of weird and can behave differently based on whether or not we're observing them. When we don't look, it behaves like a wave and in some sense is going through both slits at the same time. When we do look, it makes a decision and picks a slit. The multiverse theory, which is where there are a bunch of universes on top of this one, kind of like in Doctor Strange, is one of the arguments as to where that photon is disappearing off to. These physicists are saying, no, we can observe a photon going through both slits at the same time. It's not leaving the universe. It's been Palpatine all along. Grossly summarized, they used a technique called weak measurement, which takes very faint recordings of a photon. They then used a glass plate to twist its polarization and then measured the results at the exit. Meaning they found a way to identify that the photon was passing through the area, that it never left the universe. The paper is being hotly debated, so I'm sure we'll learn more in the coming months. But for now, this is still as realistic as it was before.
啊，所以说薛定谔的猫是，那就到时候等看老高会不会再做一集跟我们做解释。OK， 继续。
Science shows that belief in yourself is a bigger predictor of success than talent and intelligence. And I'll tell you the neuroscience behind why, because everybody should know this. Reason number one is that belief alone improves performance. Studies show that when you believe you can do something, your brain activates more motor cortex and prefrontal resources, improving your performance. This is the placebo effect in action. Belief is a biological advantage. And number two, belief keeps you motivated when nobody's clapping. When you believe in your vision, your brain stays fueled by intrinsic dopamine, which is the opposite of external dopamine from things like views or likes or money. This makes your motivation resilient because you're not relying on external wins to keep you going. You stay locked in even when things get quiet. And number three, belief helps you take riskier moves. And like my brother said to me a while back when I was trying to decide what book deal I should take, no risk, no Rari. But the science here is that belief helps to reduce amygdala activity, which is responsible for fear and hesitation, and activates approach circuits in the brain. That's why self-belief leads to bold action, and bold action opens the doors to your dreams. When you venture out into the unknown, yeah, the floor might be lower, but the ceiling is so much higher.
Believe in yourself, believe in yourself.
What is that?
Can we run that way?
Hang on. What on earth is that? Someone shooting out in front of it now. There's two of them.
Whoa. 有两个。
Oh my God, guys, you are looking. I don't know what you're looking at, but they're UFOs.
哇，又再转了一次，哇塞，大转弯哎！
Can we go that way? Can we go that way?
There are two of them flying next to each other. Oh my God, you guys! I don't think you realise how lucky you are to even witness something like this. Look at them.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Come on, quickly go that way a bit.
是不是两个？
I'm running over. But I'm on the golf course.
哇！
The first time I run over like really close.
I've never seen anything like it.
Dad?
Yeah.
Is that a road there?
哇哦！
Yeah.
哎，不可能是无人机吧？
I'm just going in the field because that'll be right.
而且他录的这么长的话，就绝对不可能是 AI。 这是什么？这是什么？
This one's you. Look at this.
These two guys just sold $7 million worth of products on their live stream. But here's the crazy part. Neither of them are a real person. These are two AI avatars that stream to 13 million people for 6 hours straight. And this right here is the new definition of printing money. Listen to this. So the guy on the right is named Luo Yonghao. He's super famous in China for live social selling. But on this stream, he tried something completely different. He worked with Chinese company Baidu to build his own AI avatar. You see those movements? How he's tapping his fingers on the desk and moving his arm? Baidu's AI pre-generated 8,000 different gestures. Wow. Kind of like a movement database that his avatar could pull from to seem more realistic on the stream. They also used AI to ingest 13,000 product descriptions. And this meant that Luo and his co-host could have a full AI conversation with perfect product accuracy. Price, features, deals, all of it. He was even taking live questions from the crowd on stream, all powered by AI answers. But here's the craziest part. This stream did $7.6 million in revenue in just 6 hours. Wow. That's more revenue than most of Luo's human streams. And that's the big takeaway. This is the future of live commerce, AI avatar-driven selling. And I know it seems silly today, but there is a massive opportunity right here.
哇，看起来好真实哦。我来找一下。我们来去找一下原本的片段。
百度优选绘模型数字人，非常逼真，让人震撼。声形超拟真，内容更专业，互动更灵活。有实力的 AI 大脑，让一个人就是一个直播团队。现在来和绘模型交个朋友，你也能拥有。
什么时候数字人能把这个也替我干了就好。
哇塞，刚那个是 AI 完全看不出来任何的瑕疵。
Forgotten Plague, you guys remember that? Of course you do. This is a sickness that has mysteriously shown up and mysteriously left, and no one knows what the cause of it was and what happened and why it happened. In 1916 from 1930, over those years, millions of people all around the world were mysteriously passing out, falling asleep, falling into comas. Some of these people, comas for years. The illness literally started with sore throats, tiny headaches, all these things. People would be eating at home, chewing their food, and then would just pass out. And they had no idea what caused it. And so they called it the sleeping plague, forgotten plague, obviously. Now, there was no correlation to what people were eating, where people were at. So there was a lot of like conspiracy behind biological warfare. But a lot of it happened in the UK, but it happened all over the world. I think over 100,000 people died. But in 1930, it just stopped. And it just never happened again. They don't know what caused it. They don't know why it went away. Nothing happened. There's no logical reason. So when people would wake up, some of the people that would actually wake up that wouldn't pass away, they'd wake up with neurological disorders, Parkinson's. Yeah. Some people literally had different personalities and different accents.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it just disappeared one day. And we've just, I mean, I don't remember ever learning about this.
What if time travel exists and they're testing vaccines in the past?
There actually is a tiny conspiracy within that of time travelers.
Wow.
Oh. 但是西班牙流感 Spanish flu 是什么时候？所以说看起来 Sleeping Plague 跟 Spanish flu 这个墨西哥流感是同一个段时间诶。所以 Spanish flu 我们知道这个西班牙流感的话是1918到1919，就这一年之间。但是呢，这个所谓的 Sleeping Plague Sleeping Sickness 是从1917到1928这10年之间都有发生，然后原因是 unknown， 原因不明。有一种说法是说这个流感的病毒其实变异株了，所以说有可能是最严重的时候是 Spanish flu 那一年，然后呢之后可能这个病毒就是变异了，变异株，然后变异之后呢造成人们就是属于这种就是有这样子的一个表现哦。诶，这样子的话也说得通，因为我们这次疫情之后有些人的神经就受到伤害，比如说就是嗜睡啊，或者是疲倦啊，或者是类似这样子的情况。诶，有意思哦。Okay.
All right. The words that are about to come out of my mouth, I'm not even surprised they're about to come out of my mouth. But it was only a matter of time before dragons entered the conversation. Yeah, you heard me correctly, dragons. Now you're telling me that an alleged dragon skull and skeleton has been dug up in Romania. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen the video that's circling the internet, and it does in fact look like what I would imagine a dragon skull would look like. But I'm not here to tell you to believe in dragons. That's up to you to make your own mind up about that. But this video shows a guy in a hole with a dragon skull. Now, that got me wanting to jump down the rabbit hole, because you guys know I love jumping down a good rabbit hole. And it made me start thinking, The dragon is the only animal that's allegedly mythological on the zodiac chart, yet all the other animals do exist. How do we explain that? Also, the Bible even refers to dragons. So how do we explain that? And Chinese history says that they use dragon bones for medicine. How do we prove that? How do we explain that? So I want to know if you've heard this, if you've seen the video, what are your thoughts and beliefs on dragons? Because I guess now dragons are showing up. But let's have this conversation tonight because I love.
他说这个罗马尼亚的这个视频啊，我去找了一下，我找到，我们来一起看一下。这看起来好像有点因为我们知道龙的头的话，古书记载龙的头的话是像马或者是又像鹿的一种头，所以它这个或者是骆驼，所以它这个头真的是有点像马，它头顶的地方好像是有角，但是问题是呢，其实这样一看的话，也有可能这是马呀或者是骆驼的化石，那这就不得而知了。
Hugging a tree can literally recharge your nervous system and expand your aura, not metaphorically, biologically, electromagnetically, and energetically. When you hug a tree, you're making direct contact with one of the most stable bioelectrical systems in nature. Trees are grounded deep into the earth, constantly channeling electrons upward, while also absorbing sunlight, water, and atmospheric charge. Your body, made of conductive water and minerals, begins to entrain with that energy. Your heart rate slows, cortisol drops, and your nervous system shifts from fight or flight into parasympathetic calm. This is when your electromagnetic field, the one your heart emits, becomes more coherent, more expansive, and more magnetic. Studies have shown that contact with trees releases phytoncides, plant compounds that boost immune function and reduce stress hormones. But beyond the biology, something deeper happens. Your energy field aligns with a rhythm older than civilization itself. People feel your presence more. You feel more alive. That's not a hippie talk. It's physics, breath, biology, and grounding. So, the next time your energy's off, touch something ancient. Touch a tree.
所以说要补充能源的时候就去抱一棵树。你有什么特别的树比较好吗？比如说千年神树，或者是椰子树，有没有特别要抱什么树比较好？补充能量。
You see, this is exactly why I have trust issues with mainstream archaeology. Every single time we uncover something interesting that doesn't fit into the official academic timeline of history, it's either mocked and labeled a con, or they do this. So in 2011, Russian cave explorer Arthur Zhemyukov made a wild discovery in the region of North Caucasus in Russia. At the top of the Kara-Hora mountain range, he found something that revealed an unwritten chapter of human history. At first, it just seemed like a deep hole leading into a cave formation inside the mountain, so he decided to check it out himself. And as he went down this narrow vertical opening, he started to notice this wasn't any regular cave shaft. On his descent, he saw massive parallel stone blocks, polished flat and perfectly geometrically aligned with each other. We're talking straight edges, right angles, and intricately chiseled formations that indicated this definitely wasn't natural, it was engineered. Him and his team explored deeper and found out that this shaft was so much beyond our understanding than he ever thought. This is the Kara-Hora shaft, and I don't care what anyone says, someone, like an intelligent being, clearly made this. Inner passageways with perfectly straight, polished walls going down 40 meters into the mountain, leading into a larger chamber with 36-meter-high ceilings filled with enormous megalithic slabs fitted together and arranged in perfect alignment with each other, like they were intentionally placed there, with some blocks appearing to be up to 200 tons, and nothing can explain how anyone would have moved these stone megaliths into this narrow shaft. The total distance from the very top of the shaft down to the lowest part of the explored chamber was around 100 meters, about the height of a 25-story building. And there appeared to be more tunnels and chambers below that went even deeper into the mountain, which are still undiscovered. Clearly an artificial construction of a monumental scale, an absolute groundbreaking find by any means. And as per usual, absolutely no historic records of any structure like this documented anywhere in this region. The team even filmed their exploration for a Russian TV documentary, mapping out the shaft to reveal its true detailed architecture, with block arrangements that looked incredibly similar to the ones found found in the Grand Gallery of the Great Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt. It also features several tunnels that don't seem to have been designed to be accessed by humans, just like we see in the Egyptian pyramids. No ladders, stairs, or any easily accessible means of traversing many of these passageways. Even small side tunnels that no human can fit through, and oddly enough, the team felt a constant draft of air blowing up into the chamber from deeper underground, suggesting this wasn't built for habitation, but rather some sort of other functional purpose. Possibly a subterranean complex of another larger structure that used to exist on top of the mountain. Perhaps the entire mountain itself was an ancient megastructure, like a pyramid that's been heavily eroded over time. What if it was, dare I say it, an ancient energy power generator, part of a system of global power plants that produce energy for an ancient advanced civilization that lived here tens of thousands of years ago. Just like the Giza power plant theory suggests the pyramids of Egypt may have been. Whatever it is, it's clearly something that was built by an intelligent species, undocumented in an absolute feat of ancient human engineering, or maybe even non-human engineering.
Alright, yo, look at this shit.
Yesterday, and unfortunately that rain does stick with us with
That's a bird.
Chances as we head into the afternoon. This is our look over Pensacola Beach on our generator guys camera. We have
That's a bird. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
看到了吗？刚刚那边有两只，是不是
That's why we're studying these ancient sites around the world, because how it all ties back is that areas that I am particularly focused on, like in eastern Turkey around Lake Van, we have ancient temples and sites that the world hasn't even heard of yet. Places like Ionis and Kefkalesi, Shavuz Tepe, Toprakali, Azfarnatepe, Altan Tepe, and they contain symbols, Sean, ancient motifs and symbols that go and connect to nearly every lost civilization place around the world, like Peru, Bolivia, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece. What they have are symbols and artifacts that are coming out that are showing these teachings that seem to go all the way back and connect everything Hermeticism. Like, for instance, if you study these laws and these constants out of ancient Egypt and ancient Greece and these others, and you look at the symbols that are left there, you realize that they're all the same. Like there was a lost knowledge of understanding who we are and our greater capacity in the universe and how we can achieve unlocking our greatest aspect of ourselves. And the teachings are laid down in these artifacts and temples left behind for a future time when humanity can finally understand it.
We got AI tattooers before GTA 6. An AI device is set up to start tattooing people in New York and Austin right now, and about 800 people are on the wait list. It's at Bang Bang, a studio that's tattooed Rihanna, LeBron, and Selena Gomez. They just installed a $120,000 AI tattoo machine called Black Dot. Here's how it works. The machine converts any image into tens of thousands of tiny dots. A human straps your arm down, and then the machine scans your arms and then starts tattooing. One client said it's virtually painless. Text tattoos come out perfectly symmetrical. The machine has already done over 250 tattoos. One person got the Mona Lisa on her arm. They'll be offering just text and simple designs to start, but eventually full sleeves in color. Did you get tattooed by an AI device?
Okay, so I'm a taxi driver in the city sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And I had a girl, she was complaining to her friend, trying to get over a dude who's not really doing shit with his life.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and I was
喜欢的街头艺术者，
we can like get our girls
超
back
酷。
on track.
Oh, okay.
I like jazzy, a little jazzy pop. So I was like, you can do better, do better.
Okay, so that's the
Do
chorus,
better than
obviously.
him. You already know. You can do better, do better. You can do better than get off a bumble, get off a hinge. You can do better than him. Ooh, love yourself first, girl. Living in this world. He probably got kids, doesn't pay his rent. He window shopping with his broke best friends. You can do better, do better. You can do better than him. He probably got kids, doesn't pay his rent. He window shopping with his broke best friends. You can do better, do better. You can do better than him. You gotta listen to your mind and your soul. And everything you know, yeah, you know. Baby, listen to me. I know a couple of things. Got kids, doesn't pay his rent. His window shopping with his broke best friend. You can do better, do better. You can do better than him.
Alright， 那这就是今天的影片啦。如果你想要看更多这类的影片的话，不要忘记帮我订阅、按赞。如果你有任何的想法的话，也不要忘记在下面留言哦。那我们今天就先到这里啦，非常感谢你的收看，我们下次见 ，Have a good one， 拜拜。
the chin, where did you go?